Welcome to Families of Victory broadcast. On today's broadcast, we will be talking about anti-bullying. As you can see, we're all excited about the I'm Me movement, the campaign to stop bullying. And today's guests, we're going to allow them to introduce themselves. But before we do, Families of Victory are very involved and are strong advocates for standing up against any type of bullying, whether it's cyberbullying, whether it's bullying in the schools, bullying on the job. It's just so much going on where these people are showing aggressive behavior. So we're going to talk to two mighty young men today. And I'm so grateful not only for you joining us on the broadcast, but to also have these young men in the studio with us today. We're going to allow them to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they have going on.
Okay, hey, how y'all doing? My name is Najada Williams. I'm a senior here at Bethune-Cookman University. I'm 21 years old. I'm also an artist. I make music, and I have the I'm Me campaign. That's a little bit about me.
Oh, my name's Elisha Lamar. I'm 11 years old. I go to Locust Grove. My mom is a pastor, and she is the Real Women Choice Awards, and also I wrote a book. I'm an author, and I have the Score with Jesus project coming out soon.
So you're the son of Dr. Janet Lamar, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Mover and a shaker. And and you're the son of some entertainment folks, huh?
6'9", you know.
We are thankful that we have some awesome young people here today, and we're gonna go back in time because Najada, you're 21 now.
Yes, ma'am.
However, you were bullied coming up, so I'm gonna take you back down memory lane if you don't mind. To use that little young boy.
You good?
And I think you were, what, 13 or 14 when it started?
I started getting bullied. I'm 21 now. I started getting bullied when I was like 10. Like
Right.
You want me to tell a little bit about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
To make stuff short, because I don't want to take up too much time. Growing up, I weighed a lot, and I always could sing. Like I always had a high pitched voice, so I always got bullied about that. So growing up, it always used to get with me, and then when I got into high school, I was like, I got to flip it around. I can't let what people say about me bring me down.
Right.
So that's how I started the I'm Me campaign with your help and my father's help or whatnot. So starting that, I was just like, you have to be yourself sometimes, and when you be yourself, you'll draw more people to you than when you're not yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I got bullied, and then after that, I flipped it around, and like people love me, but it was like I had to get myself together first before I can try to help somebody else.
I really like that, what you just said. Let's stop right there because we don't want to miss that nugget. You said you have to help yourself first.
Right.
You have to get yourself together first.
Correct.
In order to go back and help somebody else. Right. Can you tell our viewers exactly what did you do and what you mean about getting yourself together? Because, I think it was, if record serves me well, you were bullied because of your weight and your voice.
Right.
But there were specific things that you did for yourself first, just for you, not for the people, but for yourself.
So a little bit about that situation or whatnot. Going from 8th grade to 9th grade, I still had weight a lot. I was like 230 and I was short. I haven't even hit 6 foot yet or whatnot. So I said, I was playing football and sports, so I got myself together, like my image, because I knew I wanted to do music. I always knew I could do music or whatnot. So I got my image together first. So once I got my image together, it seemed like people was turning around, like who is that? Like this wasn't the same Najada that they knew, because the image has changed or whatnot. So then after that, I started working back on music because I always could write. So I always would write, get my dad input, like, hey, what you think about this or whatnot. So once I got myself together, I was like, let me do the Me thing, because you have to start from somewhere. Everybody has a story or whatnot, but I knew how to tell my story through music. So I used the music for my outlook to get to other people.
Right. So you began to work out, and now at your school, did you go to middle school, like you left elementary, then middle school, and then high school, or was it just from elementary straight to high school?
The bullying started like middle school because everybody, you know, when you're in elementary, everybody cracked with each other. But middle school is a different type of game because you was getting to a new field with different people. So people always thought I was happy on the outside, but when they were saying slick stuff, on the inside they'll beat you up. Like people don't know that will tear you down, and you just have to learn how to what's the word? You have to learn how to adapt. But I learned when I grew up and finally felt like I look good. Like I look good. They can't say nothing about me. Like people say stuff about me now. It's just like you can't tear me down now because it's like I'm not Jada at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm me. Like I'm not Jada. I know I look good, I feel good, and I'm in a better place spiritually. So
I love that. Come on, Elijah. Come on, jump in here now. I affectionately call him Prophet Elijah. Okay. So, Prophet, come on and tell us a little bit because you're in middle school now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're in middle school, so you can kind of identify with what Najeda is talking about. As a matter of fact, when I was praying and we were discussing the anti-bullying segment, we don't just choose people that, you know, off the flip. We just, you know, we really seek God and we really seek, you know, each other and ask who are we supposed to have here. So, and the two of you came up, some mighty awesome Black young men that are really standing up in the community. But I really want you to talk to us about your bullying encounters and what did you do?
Well, the first encounter I had was in first grade when we were in line. So we were going outside, but we were in line. So somebody called me a B word and had punched me. So I imposed and I had punched him back. So we both went to the office, but when they checked the security cam, it was him that got in trouble, but I had to suffer the consequences for imposing back.
Because you retaliated, right. If you could think back then, would you have retaliated?
Yes, I would.
You probably would have. Okay. Well, we're here to tell the truth, right? And to be honest and transparent. And this is what we do at Families of Victory. We just open up, take the mask off, and let's talk about it. Because when you keep things on the inside, that's where the problem begins. Because now what's happening is you're thinking these things, even though you're not acting out on these things. And so that's why I believe so in mentoring. Having someone older than you, having someone younger than you, someone that's been through the fire and used other things. And that's why I wanted the two of you to actually meet, you know, and talk about this stuff. And you pray for him, he pray for you, because there's a lot of lives that you guys are changing. Right. Come on, let's talk about, so you were 6 years old.
Yes, I was
in
6.
First grade. That's very young. And so where did you go from there? There was other. I read the book. We're gonna talk about the book too. I got his book right here. The Leader in Me Stands in the Face of Bullying. So we're gonna show that right there. We're gonna talk a little bit about your book. Okay.
Okay.
It's a great book, and I believe you have this book in the adult version as well.
Yes, I do.
So let's talk about the book a little bit.
Well, I had another encounter in camp where there was just nothing but males in the room, and they would make fun of me. And while I would sleep, they would pinch my nose so I could not breathe in the middle of the night. And then they would make fun of me when we go to lunch, even though I do the same thing that they would do. But they just like picking on me at the table. They call me all sorts of names. But I learned how to ignore it for a little bit, but it's kind of hard when you just have everybody lashing out at you. So it's kind of hard to ignore that voice in your head that wants you to fight back. Right. But you got to learn how to walk away from the situation.
Right. So was that your first time away from home?
Yes, it
was.
Okay,
so that was the first time. How did you feel?
I was scared, to be honest.
You were scared?
I was scared, and I had no way to contact anybody because it was a phone-free trip. Right.
And a lot of times those trips are, where you can't use your phone and stuff. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. You want to talk about something? Jump in.
I relate to what you're saying or whatnot. Growing up, getting bullied or whatnot, it's just like it's hard. And when you're cracking at a young age, everybody don't grow up know how to crack. I'm thankful that my parents taught me, like, that was my outlook. So when people used to try to pick, I could always pick back, but it hurt me a little bit, but it's like I knew how to get back with them. So when I started writing music, that was my outlet. Different people have different type of outlooks or whatnot. So it's like when I did my music, you got a book, and shout out to you for the book, because that's tough to write a book. I can write music. So when it came down to people picking on me or whatnot, everybody knew that they couldn't touch me when it come to music, because that's where I stand out at. Like, you might stand out over there, but when it come to music, I always stand out. So I had to realize that when I was getting bullied, I'm like, God gave me a talent, so why not use it right there? Right. You can do what you doing, but when it comes to music, you can't step. I'm gonna bully you into music. That's was my outlook. That was always my outlook.
Kind of like hip hop therapy, right?
Right. Yeah, that was my outlook. I knew you try to bully me, but when it come down to music, like your book, you can bully somebody with the book because you good. You have good words. I read your book. It's really dope for somebody young. I can't write no book.
See? You
can write a book. I can write music. So that was my outlook.
So you're saying, would you say to the viewers that may be encountering bullying, find your niche to be able to redirect your anger or retaliation? What would you say?
Definitely find your niche. I know I had an attitude or whatnot. I can admit to that. So when I had a short temper. So when people say something, I'm ready to go. But I had to realize you can fight everybody all you want. People gonna have something to say about you regardless. So I had to realize, you know what? I can't say everything is bullying at this point. It's people gonna talk regardless of what you do good or what you do bad. So you just have to find your niche and what you like to do and just block everybody out.
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Go ahead, Elijah. How that go? How what you think about that? What he just said?
I can kind of relate a little bit, but because when I'm in school, it's kind of easier because there's always a teacher around. But whenever the teacher's gone, you just gotta learn how to not engage. You just gotta sit there and just try to block out long enough until the teacher returns. Right. Or when you're at recess, just walk away from the situation. Don't let them see that they're getting under your skin. So just walk away and just be yourself and just walk away.
Right. That's good. Well, I think we're about to take a break in a moment, and when we come back, we want to talk about the book that you have, and then I want to talk about the lyrics in the Me, and we'll talk about what you guys are doing now. But right before we go to the break, Elijah, would you tell people how they might be able to get in contact with you? Because I've heard both of you perform and speak, and Elijah, you are a dynamic speaker, and I want our viewers to know if they desire to have either one of these young men to come and join into their youth programs, how they can contact you. So Elijah, would you mind giving your contact information, how they can contact you?
You can contact me through my mother. Her phone number is 706-980-7901.
That's great. And that's Queen Esther Mega Networks, is it? And they can also visit the Facebook. She's all over everywhere, right? Come on now, Jada, how can they contact you? Now, Jada, we did Rock the Block, didn't we?
We did Rock the Block, and what's crazy, I just looked on my Facebook before we was shooting or whatnot, and it was 5 years ago I performed today. When we did with the band or whatnot.
Yes.
So the way y'all can contact me or whatnot, my phone number is 478-302-7284. My email address is naijada61@gmail.com. My Instagram is naijada__ and my Facebook is not Jada Williams, NAIJADA, then Williams.
Right. We did a anti-bullying campaign workshop too here in Middle Georgia. So also, if you need them for a workshop or a camp, we did summer camp, go ahead and contact them. And you can also contact our Facebook page, Families of Victory. You can contact us, Families of Victory, at www.shannonstafford.org and click on Families of Victory, and you'll see me there on the page. We'll be right back. So go tell somebody we are interviewing these mighty men of God here today taking a stand against bullying. And we'll be right back.
Are you looking for a way to expand your ministry's reach and draw new members to your congregation? Queen Esther Mega Networks is your partner for Christian media outreach. Contact Dr. Janet Hogan Lamar today to learn how you can become a guest on one of our current programs or start your own worship and ministry series through Queen Esther Mega Networks.
Welcome back to Families of Victory. This segment, we are talking to Nigella Williams, recording artist and student. He's a senior now at Bethune-Cookman University. And we also have what I affectionately call Prophet Elijah Lamar. He's an author, and he's also an advocate that stands against anti-bullying. So before the break, we were talking about the book and how to contact Prophet Elijah, and we were talking about Nigella and his Me anti-bullying campaign, which we hosted several camps in the neighborhood and talked about Me. Let's talk about Me a little bit, and then we're going to move on to the book. Let me tell you, first of all, God says in the book of Psalms that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So regardless of what anybody else tell you, you are made in the image of God. And that is something that I talked to Nigella about. And Elijah has his mom and all the men that are surrounding him. So we know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. So it doesn't matter what anybody else say. It's what God say about us in his word. That's who we are. And I believe that's what all of us need to realize and understand exactly who we are. So people that are being bullied, and once you come to the knowledge and understanding of who you are and whose you are, then you won't be bullied by anybody on the job, in school, in the neighborhood, from the church house to the White House. You will not be bullied because you know exactly who you are. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Me. Tell me a little bit about Me.
Okay, so basically what I was saying earlier is I like to write music or whatnot. So me and my dad, he was letting me listen to some beats that we had got sent to us or whatnot. And I'm like, I like that beat, the Me beat that was that we used. So I wrote it, and he was just like, let's try to do for anti-bullying.
Right.
Because what I wrote at first wasn't for anti-bullying. I had wrote something totally different. So I was like, okay, cool. So we worked together and whatnot and making it on me. So I wanted to make something that I felt good about, but I know other people might would have felt good about. So I was like, in the first bar, I was like, you don't have to know my name. Just know I'm trying to make a little change or whatnot. So basically that line, you don't have to know me, but when I walk in the room, you're going to know me now. Like,
right.
Because when I got bullied, I didn't have no image. I didn't feel like. So when I finally got myself together, it was like, people can't say nothing to me now. You try to bully me, but I'm still going to be me. So I wanted to make that song for that kind of vibe.
And, I think that's such a powerful statement because, the Bible also talks about what a man think, so is he. Right. So as you begin to work on yourself and your image, and I think, Elisha, you play football too, or you working out? To. Right. And I think that's another thing that you did, Najeda, just like Elijah did, is got into exercising and working out, playing football, and begin to change the outer image as well as the inner image. And that was awesome. And I read and you tell me a little bit about your book. I want you to talk about your book.
It was inspired by my mom when I had first came home from camp, and my voice was hoarse. Mm-hmm. And so she asked me what was wrong, and I told her about camp. So, like later on, down a few months or weeks later, she inspired me to write this book about bullying to help others with bullying and how to get through it. And also, there's a few quoted websites that help you understand what bullying's about and how to deal with it.
Right, that's awesome. So what I'm hearing is that you guys had some awesome support. 6ix9ine with the Me and pushing it with Wavy NT, and it was just an awesome movement going from LaGrange to all over. Just Atlanta.
And I want to, my bad. Mm-hmm. I want to say this. I want to shout out my dad, honestly, because he helped, and my mom as well. But I want to shout out my dad because he do music too. So he helped me with a lot because he lost his parents at a young age. So I'm thankful grateful to have my parents or whatnot. So he always tried to uplift me. Even though I battled what I battled, like depression and whatnot, he always tried to keep me going. So when I wrote the song, he was there to help type deal, like showed me the light, because he's an artist as well. Not as no more, but you know, like coming up. So I want to shout out to him, and I want to say to you, just keep going, bro. Like, can't nobody tell you what you can and can't do. You see what I'm saying? When people bully you, it's because they jealous of what you got going on, or they see people love me. Like when I walk in the room, people love me, and some people can't take that. When you got God behind your back and you believe in God and whatnot, people can't take that. So I just want to say, keep going, bro. Like the sky's the limit.
I also want to shout out my mom too, because she's helped me through a lot of tough times.
That's great. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you too. I tell you what. So we talked a little bit about that, but let me tell you something, Najeda. When you were brought to me, actually I met you, right. I tell you, just to let the viewers know that not only did you go from being a little heavy-set young man, teased, and we can say, you know, because we've had a lot of sessions, you know, borderline suicidal, if we just tell the truth, you know. And God threw a lifeline. To God be the glory. No credit to us. But I really thank God for parents that know when they can't take it any further, and they know how to reach out and get help. And so your dad did introduce us and bring you to Families of Victory, and we began to collaborate. And I tell you, I think it was Miss Faye with Healing and Afflictions, and Peacekeepers. I think all of us came and we saw you in the pageant. So you went from being bullied to being MVP?
Yes, ma'am. Most in the pageant. That was so long ago. I'm sorry. I actually came in second place in the pageant. Shout out to the person that won at the time in the pageant. That was a big deal for me. Like the pageant, I never did nothing like that. Like, so I said I'm gonna step up my comfort zone and do the pageant. I didn't think I was gonna even do that good, but I knew who I was. You see what I'm saying? I knew that couldn't nobody, when certain stuff, I know people can't do better than me.
It was in your head now, right?
It's in my head. So like the sky's the limit. So when I do stuff now, it's just, I don't think about it. People ain't gonna like, I do it for me now, if that makes sense. And it's gonna touch certain people.
That's right.
So the pageant was fun. I learned a lot. I gained a lot more confidence. And then I met you that same day. It was 2015, I believe. Yeah, I was in 10th grade.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, but don't stop there, because you didn't just come in second place in that pageant. You went on to be elected, I think, during the football season, homecoming court.
Oh, yeah. I was on homecoming court. Shout out to everybody that was on the court at the time. I didn't win, but I ended up winning prom king. And it was senior year. So that was, I went from being bullied to folks
crowned.
And I look at that, and that's a big moment for me. That's I just won in college, Mr. Lotus, the past December that just passed or whatnot. Right. So I've done a lot since then to now, and I'm about to graduate in May. So it's just like the sky's the limit. I always say the sky's the limit, because you can't put like, you see.
That's right. I like that, because you went from being bullied to being crowned the king that you really are. Right. But it started with the mindset. Right. It started with changing what you saw and believed about yourself, and believed who God called you to be. And it didn't mean you have to be in church all the time, you know, but you begin to make those positive affirmations and take authority yourself. And that way nobody was able to push you around, okay? So I really do. It was a beautiful thing to see, from that little boy to see you get crowned the king that you are. So congratulations to you too. And then reaching back, because now not only did you go to college, but you're about to graduate a teacher's certificate, a diploma at Bethune-Cookman University. So that's a story in itself. That's our next segment.
The road to Bethune.
The road to Bethune. That's a good one. And Elijah, anything else you would like for our viewers to know? One thing I like to say about you, what an awesome man you are. I see you on the set. I see you helping. I see you holding your head high, and God is a lifter of your head. I see you reaching out, helping the younger people, relatives of yours, always a positive role model. It's always, yes, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. And we were in a service one time, and I tell you, it's something that I saw you do that really blessed my heart. That was a young man that was talking, and he asked for an offering, and you got up and you ran to your mom, and you ran to it too. You wanted some money to put in the offering, you know, and you don't find that with a lot of young people now. Usually they asking for money so they can go to the candy lady or go, do they still have candy lady, y'all? You know, or go to the corner store or something like that. But I want to commend you for what I see you doing as well. I see you opening the door for your mom. You open the door for me and helping, you know, the women. So you're an awesome gentleman, and you're an awesome man that's going to make a difference in this world. You already are, and don't let anybody tell you no different. No weapon formed against either of you are going to prosper. Regardless of the weapon that is formed, it will not prosper. And I thank God that he allowed me to come into you guys' life and you to come into my life so that together we can make a difference. So Elijah, do you have any closing remarks right quick you would like to say?
Don't let anybody ever get you down.
That's some good advice. What about you, Najeda?
Quick few things. Never let nobody tell you who you are. Like, don't let nobody bully you into feeling like if somebody call you ugly, don't make them feel. Don't give them the power to say, "Oh, I'm ugly." You have to switch the narrative. You have to flip the topic. And aside from that, I dropped my new album that I just dropped like last month called Outer Space. Y'all can find it on all streaming services. I'm dropping more music. I'm about to drop a new project coming soon. I'm gonna do a song for you, Families of Victory.
Yes.
The new anthem's coming soon. And I just want to say thank you. Like, you helped me a lot. 2015 to now, you helped me a lot. So I want to say thank you.
To God be the glory. Well, I tell you, you're going to be in Atlanta too soon. I think September, sometime
30th.
soon. Yeah, and Elijah just all over everywhere, changing the world. So we are so grateful. We thank you so much for tuning in to Families of Victory broadcast. Well, we have been talking about taking a stand against bullying, all types of bullying. Realize and understand that you are created in the image of God, the Creator himself, Elohim himself. And I think there's a scripture in the Bible that too says that Satan asked God, what are you that you're so mindful of man, that you made man a little lower than the angels, and it's interpreted a little lower than Elohim himself, God himself. You guys, once you know and realize and understand that you are little G's in the earth, you are God's in the earth. You have the same creative power, what you use with your mouth. If you want to change something, open your mouth and change it. Be the change that you want to see. Go ahead, right?
Amen.
Quick. Got about 30 seconds. Okay, so we want to talk about Families of Victory right quick as we wrap it up. Visit us at www.shannonstafford.org, or you can then you can click on Families of Victory, or you can visit us on Facebook, Families of Victory. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. The Families of Victory broadcast, Operation Anti-Bullying. I'm me.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Are you looking for a way to expand your ministry's reach and draw new members to your congregation? Queen Esther Mega Networks is your partner for Christian media outreach. Contact Dr. Janet Hogan Lamar today to learn how you can become a guest on one of our current programs or start your own worship and ministry series through Queen Esther Mega Networks.